park by the time it burned out. The Great Chicago Fire burned over the course of 3 calendar days, left 100,000 people homeless, 300 people were killed. The most devastating individual story in the history of our city. And the reason we have every single thing in front of you. I cannot talk about architecture without mentioning the fire, because I do need you to remember that this city we talk about, this skyline, these buildings, this is not our first city. It is our second chance, our second city of Chicago. I've always quite liked the nickname Second City. I think it fits us really well. And it is a reminder of this story. And at the core of who we are a city of great resilience. We are a city of second chances. We are a city that had to start again and do it better the second time. This is not just a story, it is who we are. Architects and engineers flocked to the city of Chicago to rebuild it from the ground up. A bit of an architect's playground in some ways. It's a big city with no buildings. Great. Let's come up with new ideas. Let's make a better city. Let's make a better building. Out of this playground of creativity, we get the very first steel frame skyscraper. The first skyscraper as we know it was built in Chicago in 1885. That is not a coincidence. I mean, this is a place where a lot of new ideas are being developed as we reconfigure who we are. The first skyscraper does not exist anymore. We can't see it. But its invention of the inner steel frame supporting the weight of a building is what will eventually lead to our tallest building in Chicago, a steel frame skyscraper over 100 floors tall. That is the legacy of the fire. I hope you take this story with you. I hope you look for more references to it around our city. And I hope you stand up for that, Kyle. Moving on. Over here on the right-hand side, you see that building rising above the rest with the triangular roof and the statue way up at the top? The Chicago Board of Trade, 1930. See in the middle of the building, racing lines, deep dark inset windows, pinstripes, making it Art Deco, yes. Now the statue at the top of the building is a goddess. Did you know we have a goddess in our city? Her name is Ceres. She's the Roman goddess of grain and agriculture. Ceres, looking over the city of Chicago. Also coming up on the right, we got this octagonal pink building with the circular crown way up the top. 311 South Wacker, call that building the Queen of the Skyline. Looks a bit like a queen chess piece, and it can move in every direction. It can't, but wouldn't that be cool? The crown at the top of the building lights up very beautifully every night in our city. Lit up so bright when it first debuted that when birds were flying through on their migration paths, they thought it was the moon. They got lost. Which is very sad, but I do also want to say this about that story. That building looks nothing like the moon. Like, okay, we turn down the lights during migration periods. Don't worry, the birds can find their way through our city. But we must wonder, do they know what the moon looks like? I don't know. All right, let's move along. Our tallest building in the city is coming up on the right. Big old black box with 2 wide antenna, finished in 1973, originally coined the Sears Tower. Did have a name change about 15 years ago. It is technically now the Willis Tower, but we here in Chicago don't care. We do still call the building Sears. You will hear that name far more often than Willis in the city. I do need you to know that. This building is 1,451 feet, 442 meters. Tallest building in our city, 50 years later. And it also has a very unique design. When you look at the building, you'll notice that the structure is really more like 9 vertical columns on a 3x3 plot. See how the columns are topping out at varying heights? Only 2 of them go to the top height to support the antenna. The rest bundle around them and vary their height up the side like Tetris. 9 columns, 3x3 plot. And yes, I did just at that last second notice that there were 4 men up there cleaning that glass at the top of this building on the right. They're having a great Friday morning. Now, I do want to talk about the design of the Sears Tower. It is a design called bundled tubes or bundled columns. It debuted at the tower. It comes to us from the lead structural engineer on the project, a genius man from Bangladesh named Dr. Fazlur Khan. Now, the primary reason why he designed the building like that is because he had a problem. How do you build such a tall building in the windy city and keep it from swaying too much? If you didn't know this, all tall buildings do sway. This is a good thing. You do not want it to sway too much because you might get sick at the top floor. That is a bad thing. You often need to reduce the sway of very tall buildings. You just want a little bit. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. This is our first, it is called the bundled tubes. Essentially, how it works is that the columns are topping out at varying heights to confuse the wind, helping to reduce pressure at the top. And so quite simply, they bundle closely together with the two inner top columns to brace them and keep them from swaying too much. Bundled tubes design. Now, way to the 103rd floor, you will notice that there are 5 glass boxes that jut out over the city. It is the Sky Deck. If you have not gone to the Sky Deck, you should. I've heard it's great. I'm never going to do it, but you can if you'd like to. You can go there and look down through glass floors over 1,000 feet below you at little tiny people like us right now. That's a wild thing you can do there if you're feeling it. I will not. A wild thing you cannot do there, just so you know, you cannot climb the outside of the building. It's illegal. But 2 people have. One of them was an American in 1981 who climbed the outside wearing a Spider-Man costume, which is one of the most American things I've ever heard. There was a Frenchman about 20 years after that. They both climbed the building just fine and were immediately arrested.